Welcome everyone to BPL Nepal. Today we will learn how to make the arterial system of human body. Especially, what do you understand by arterial system? Arterial system, especially we should know about what do you mean by arteries. Arteries are those blood vessels which carry the blood away from the heart. Simply, we can write arteries are those blood vessels. We can write arteries are those blood vessels which carry the blood away from the heart. And arterial system is known as the network of all arterial vein which carries the all arteries which carries the blood away from the heart. Today we are going to make the arterial network system of human body. Especially this includes today main topic will be of CEE, those students which are going to appear CEE as well as NEB because it has been taken from the NEB course. Let's see. Let's move on. You have to follow each and every steps significantly. Let's make us heart, simply heart. This is one heart. You have to try to make with me. Okay, don't wait for anyone. Let's start now. Here will be the release of first. There are three arterial system in main arterial system. One is pulmonary artery. One is pulmonary artery. Next is one is pulmonary artery. Then next is systemic artery. One is pulmonary artery. Next is systemic artery, and last one we have carotid artery. Carotid artery. Let's see. Let me erase it. Then we will move on. First we have pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery comes from the right ventricles in this way and it opens like this. It is pulmonary artery. It is known as pulmonary artery. It is known as pulmonary artery. Likewise, the aorta moves from this side and makes the 180-degree turn. Makes the 180 degree. Wait, I think you will be confused. I'll make by this color. And one part of the aorta makes 180-degree turn. Then it moves with the ventral surface, not the dorsal surface. In this way, it moves. This is dash dash dash. This is like dash. Here it opens. It is known as left systemic aorta. What is this? Is left. Let me write. This is our right ventricle. Right ventricle. This is our right ventricle, and this is our right auricle. This is our right auricle. This is our right auricle. This is our right auricle, as well as this is our left auricle. Let's see. Now In this, I need to zoom it. In this aorta, left systemic aorta, we have written in this left systemic aorta, let's see it clearly here. This is carotid, this is carotid, and this is next part, and this is next part. Same like here, same like here, you have to make here as well, and let's join it, and let's join it likewise. Let's see. Now this is the carotid one, this is the carotid part, this is the carotid part, and now we will be drawing in this carotid part. Let elongate this carotid part and make external and internal carotid, external and internal carotid. Let me first name this and we will move on to next series. The artery which is inner side, the artery which is inner side is known as external, which is known as external carotid, which is known as external carotid. Likewise, the outermost side is known as internal, this side is known as internal carotid, and this whole this whole is known as this whole is known as common carotid. I hope you understood this. One carotid part has gone away, and next we will move on. Let's see here in this part we have one, this part, this is the our next systemic aorta, systemic artery part, and this will move like this. See it clearly. It will go one upper side and one downside and one downside like this. Same here as well. This will go upside, and now this will go this, sorry, wait, stop, and this will go this side. Now name it. The upper side which is going upper side, this is known as, the upper side is known as, we call it as vertebral artery. Wait, this is known as vertebral, this is known as vertebral artery. This is important. This is known as vertebral artery. This is known as vertebral, vertebral, vertebral. Let me erase it. This is known as vertebral. This is known as vertebral, vertebral arteries. Those supply blood to neck region, and this common carotid side, this supply blood to brain, we have not read more. Let's see. Next one is vertebral artery. Then let's move on to next. Let's see this, the artery which is coming downside. Now we will move on this downside. Let it elongate, and it will be divided into two branches like this. Same as this side as well as this will be divided into two branches. This will be divided into two branches, and we name it as, the external side is known as radial, and internal side is known as ulnar, and internal side is known as ulnar. This radial supplies blood to the radial bone, and this ulnar side supply blood to the ulnar of hand. These two supply blood to hand. These two supply blood to hand. Let's move on. Let's move on downside. Upper side has been completed. We have supplied blood to all parts of the body, and here we are missing just like, wait for me. Let's move on. Let's move on. Now we have downside. Downside, in first we have, for diaphragm we need to supply blood to the diaphragm, and it is known as inferior, it is known as inferior pharynx. It is known as inferior pharynx. Students are mostly confused in the this side. Students are, I need to say this, students are confused in this side of venous system and arterial system. They are not confused of downside, they are only confused of this side. This we have made this only, especially this, that they are confused of. Let's see. Downside we have to move inferior nephric, which supply blood to diaphragm. I have written this because it will be easier, far better for you to understand where the inferior nephric artery goes. Then when we move on downside, now when we move on downside, we have one common celiac artery. We have one common celiac. We have common celiac artery. We have common celiac artery. Let's see common celiac artery. This is the common celiac artery. Common celiac artery, this supplies blood to the gastric system. So it is, gastric system. So it is known as common celiac artery. Not a, wait for me, celiac, no need to write artery. Common celiac supplies blood to gastric system or intestinal system. Then let's move on. Now in downside we have this like opening here, which supplies blood to mesenteries of stomach. Mesenteries of stomach or intestine, which helps to what we make strongly attach the duodenum, ileum, jejunum side with each other. This is known as mesenteries. This is in the first mesenteries, so it is known as superior mesenteries. So it is known as superior mesenteries. So it is known as superior. I think it has been, writing has been naughty. Wait for me. I am trying my best. Superior mesenteries. I am trying my best to not write cursive. Superior or joining, you can say this joining. Let's move downside. In down we are moving downside. Now we need to open the vein to different parts. First is suprarenal, renal and genital. This is the first suprarenal, then renal, then genital. A student feels difficult to understand this. This is suprarenal, which supplies blood to the adrenal gland. adrenal gland, and this supply blood to the, this is called renal artery, which supply blood to the kidney. Likewise, this is genital. In my life history, students has remember this genital because it is related to gonads. They never forget it, other they all out of mind. Then let's move on downside. Now, moving on downside, we have lumbar vertebra, or we can say lumbar artery, which supply blood to the lumbar vertebra. This is known as, lumbar artery, which supply blood to lumbar vertebra. Let's move on. Now, at first we have made this superior mesenteries. Now it's time to close this superior mesenteries. Here see, we have started from our left side. Now we are closing from our right side. We are closing from our right side. This is inferior. This is inferior mesenteries. Inferior mesenteries. Then now downside. Now downside we have now it will be divided into two parts. Now we are moving on to our legs. Let's see. In legs we have two branches like this. This is known as common iliac, which supplies blood to hand limb. Hand limb, or you can say foot. Then we have small opening like this in this part and like this in this part. You should understand this. Like this. The sided part is known as, let's understand this running part is known as external iliac, and this sided part is known as internal iliac. This sided part is known as internal iliac. Move this downside, and the external opening, this is known as, let me clear, this is known as femoral, and this has been gone to deep part to other parts of legs, so this is known as deep femoral. So this is known as deep femoral. Likewise, the femoral at the junction is known as popliteal. At the junction is known as popliteal. At the junction is known as popliteal, and it has been divided into two parts. The inner side is known as anterior tibial, and inner side is known as posterior. Outer side is known as posterior tibial, which supplies blood to the tibia, phalanges, etc. This all, that's all. At last you can write figure is of arterial system of human. Arterial system of human. Don't worry, I will revise it again. Let's see. This is the arterial system of heart. In one page you can see like this. I know it is not clear, so let's move on. From the upper side, let's see. This is the upper side, or you can watch the video once again. It is not time waste. If you are in any way, if you are studying in class 12, then you see it is the question of 8 marks, or you can say it 4 marks if it is joining. Then if you are in CEE, then it is of 3 and 4 marks. Same. This is also same and this is also same. Let's see. So move on. First is we have moved from different parts, like we have started from heart. We have started from this part by making pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary artery. I think I forgot to name it. Let me name it. This is the pulmonary artery. I hope you should know this pulmonary spelling. I am not really clear. Let's see, pulmonary artery. Then the heart has released one left systemic aorta, and this supply blood to the heart by external carotid, internal carotid, and this is altogether is known as common carotid. Likewise, the upper side of the brain is known as vertebral artery and neck. One side I have not written one most important because I have kept it for final, or this last point, because you have to understand this. This part is known as the division of different artery is known as brachiocephalic artery. Brachiocephalic artery, and the division here is known as subclavian shoulder. You can write subclavian shoulder, and in brachiocephalic you can write arms and head. You can write arms and head. Likewise, this part, let me erase this right auricle. This is not so important. This is not too much important. And this elongating part is known as what? It is known as auxiliary. It is known as auxiliary artery. This was the main important. This auxiliary artery subclavian has been marked as question as well as, and this brachiocephalic is most important question. This brachiocephalic is most important question. This brachiocephalic and this subclavian of shoulder, this subclavian and this axillary is most important. Let's move on to next. Another now is we move on downside. This auxiliary is divided into different part. One is radial and another is ulnar. Likewise, when move on downside, we have inferior nephric here. We have inferior nephric. We have inferior nephric. After inferior, this supply blood to the diaphragm. Now we have common iliac on our left side, and another we have downside the opening. This is known as superior mesenteries. Superior mesenteries. Likewise, now downside we have suprarenal or adrenal gland. Downside we have three pairs. Here you have to make three pairs, not more than that. Three pairs. Suprarenal supply blood to adrenal gland, renal kidney, genital gonad. Likewise, downside we have four pairs. We have four pairs. Four pairs is known as lumbar vertebra, which supply blood to lumbar region, lumbar vertebra region. And another we have the opening. This was the opening, and this was the closing. Inferior mesenteries. Now this is the most important. Many students are confused on this part. What is this? First is main branch we know is common iliac. The common iliac is divided into two types. Into the internal one has gone deep rooted, and external has gone further artery, further downside. And this external iliac has divided into two parts. One has gone deep inside, and another has gone again forward. This is known as femoral. Now femoral has divided into two parts, and the joining of or the breakdowning of these two parts is known as popliteal. And the inner side is known as, I made here mistake. I have made it mistake. Let me erase it. Let's see. The inner side, sorry for that. The inner side is known as posterior tibial, and outer side is known as anterior tibial. Sorry for that. Anterior tibial. This much for arterial system of human. Now I will be coming back with the venous system. For up to that time, thank you for looking it. And if you like, I always request you, if you like, then only subscribe. I don't need subscription, okay? I do not run about subscription. My main aim is that you understood or not. You understood or not. You do like, then share it to your friends, or not. You don't want your friend to learn it, then you better learn it. Thank you for your support. Thank you.